The meeting will come to order. The following matters will come before the Revere License Commission today at our regularly scheduled meeting. This meeting was previously filed with the city clerk. The first items on the agenda that we'll deal with are going to be applications submitted for consideration. Item number one. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Before we start the meeting, we are going to salute the flag, so if everybody would rise, please. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item number one on today's agenda will be Alexi Hospitality Revere, Inc., DBA Spring Hill Suites, Boston Logan Airport, Revere Beach, 400 Ocean Avenue. Neil Dang is the manager. This is an application for a hotel and innkeeper's license. We'll also take item number two, well, actually they're together. There'll also be an application for a common victualer's license for Lexi Hospitality Revere, DBA Starbucks at 400 Ocean Avenue. Neil Dang is the manager. Yes, is there someone here from Lexi Hospitality? Would you step up to the microphone, please, sir? Thank you very much. And your name and address for the record, please?
Sure. Neil Dang, 400 Ocean Avenue, Revere, Mass. 02151.
Very good. Thank you, sir. And can you tell us what your plans are for the Spring Hill and the Starbucks?
Sure. We're going to have a hotel on Revere Beach, overnight accommodations for 168 guest rooms. We have meeting room space there, and then there's a Starbucks there as well, too, and we have a restaurant on location as well. So.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I have no questions at this time.
I have no questions. Well, I reviewed everything. Everything seems to be in order.
Very good. Sir, there is one issue that is remaining on your application, which is the fire inspection.
Yes.
So I believe that is going to be happening within the next few days. So
yeah, tomorrow morning.
Whatever is decided here, if you do obtain the license, will be contingent upon getting that final inspection.
Okay.
Before we move any further, are there any proponents? Are there anybody that would like to speak on behalf of this license? I do not see or hear anybody. Are there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to the issuing of the application for a hotel innkeeper's license or common victualer's license for the Lexi Hospitality Revere? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. I'll open it up for general discussion and/or motions. Does anybody have any questions or
I don't
motions?
really have any questions. All the paperwork seems to be in order, and my questions have been answered through your application. So, no, I have no questions unless my colleague, Commissioner Roshina, has them. I will make a motion.
Yield to your motion.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve both the holder's license and the common victual license.
I second that motion.
Very good. The application for Lexi Hospitality Revere, Inc. for a hotel in-holders license and the application for a common victualer's license is approved. Thank you very much, sir. That license is to be exercised at the same location. That's 400 Ocean Avenue with 168 rooms. The common victualer's license will be exercised at 400 Ocean Avenue, and will have the requested seating of 38 seats inside, 48 seats outside, and the hours are Sunday through Saturday, 6:30 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Correct.
And that will be contingent on the fire inspection.
Yes, and that'll be contingent upon your fire inspection.
Okay.
That license is approved contingent on the inspection.
Great.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Item number two, Guetta Pinochet Corp., PBA Nino's Restaurant and Bar, 7B Everett Street. Julia Duarte Alarcon is the manager. This is an application to amend the entertainment license. The application of Nino's Restaurant Bar at 7B Everett Street to amend the existing entertainment license to add jukebox and dancing by patrons. The current entertainment consists of widescreen cable TV, radio, DJ, amplifiers, karaoke, and vocal and instrumental music. The condition of this is that the music must end at 12:30 a.m. Name and address for the record, please.
I'm her translator, Dalito nombre?
Hi, Julia Duarte.
7B Everett Street, Revere, Mass.
Very good. Can you tell us what your plans are for this new license?
Our plan is, es que le voy a decir cuál es el plan tuyo. Her plan is to add the dancing by patrons because our customers, they like to dance, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, okay. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions? Thank you very much.
Yep.
Well, the only concern I have, should you want special events for dancing and bringing in group or something, I think we would have to be approved again by the board, wouldn't we?
It's
So
not
that
really, it's not really groups coming, just because we have the DJs and sometimes the customers, they like to dance. So we don't let them because we don't have the permit.
No,
So
I
it's just for the-
understand that. I'm just saying, should you change to a special event, you would need to come here for a special license for that. If you were approved today on these conditions, you couldn't change them to add any other instruments or groups.
No, no groups coming, just the DJ and the karaoke dancing.
Okay.
What are the normal hours of the restaurant?
We usually open from 10 to 2 a.m. We have the permits, but for temporary, we're opening at 3 because out of employees. Right
So-
now, temporary, we're open at 3, just Monday to Tuesdays. And then Fridays to Sunday, we open at 11 a.m. in the morning.
I see, and it says that you plan to have this music playing until 12:30 a.m.?
No, until 2. Our hours are from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. But our last call is at 1 a.m.
No, that's till 12:30.
According to what your current condition of the license is that the music must end at 12:30.
Were you aware of that?
No, we didn't know that.
I mean, it appears that, you are you trying to get away from the restaurant business and more into a nightclub business?
Not really.
Is that where you want to go with this?
Maybe after 8 or 9, because we close at 2.
So
Okay.
after like 8 or 9, you'll start playing like
Yeah,
music
like
by
the-
a DJ?
The DJ, and then if the guests, they want to dance, they gonna have a space to dance, and they're gonna be fine.
But I think it's important that you understand the conditions surrounding that 12:30 cutoff.
Okay.
Because obviously, although you're open until 2, there must be some type of reasoning behind that restriction. So would that present an issue for you? Because we certainly don't want to approve it if it's not something you believe you can adhere to or follow, that 12:30 condition.
I don't really get it.
Well, here's the
Espérate.
currently, your license is to have karaoke and vocal instruments and cable TV and radio and DJ. You can have all of that stuff right now. It's all the music is supposed to end at 12:30.
Okay, got
Okay.
it. Got it.
So that's the way it's supposed to be now.
Yes.
If you're going beyond that, you're making a mistake.
Yes.
And you are going outside the parameters of your license.
Got it.
By us granting you this additional entertainment, the same would hold true. You would have to cease the music at 12:30.
Okay, perfect.
So we just
But
wanna be clear.
we can, we still have the permit until 2 a.m. Okay, got it.
Right, I mean, it's just understanding that you just have to.
Yeah, we
Cut
are
off
giving the
music.
last call at 1 a.m. too, because we need the time to let the people go and they
Is there a
start
music
cash out.
lesson? After 1:30 anyways,
Right.
legally. 1:30 is last call, that's the end of the music. so we don't give 2 o'clock anyways.
Right.
All right, well, I think, it's in a good location. I mean, there's not a lot of neighbors around you. You don't have a lot of residences there. You're in in a very tucked away area, so, I mean, I see no problem with this.
Same.
So let me just move on here. We'll close this section. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of the amended application for an entertainment license? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Is there anybody opposed to the issuance of this license? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Just as a general discussion purposes, I think, it seems to be a reasonable application. I don't know
I agree.
if you guys want to discuss anything about it, or...
I think it's great, and as Commissioner Sheena brought up, as long as we're not looking to make it a nightclub for the extra hour that you'll be closing. What time did you say the restaurant will close?
Weekends, we close at 2 when we have the karaoke, and they stop singing at 1. Then we give the last call, so they start cash out, so
Well, I don't think there's any music allowed after 1:30.
No, there's no more music, and then we let the people, we have enough time to catch up, to let the customers cash out and leave.
Okay, as long as the last call is 1:30 and music is 12:30.
Yeah, but we like to give it at 1 because,
Yes.
we have enough time. We don't like to
Understand.
be yelling to people, rushing people out.
Right.
So we give it at 1 and,
No, that's fine.
yes.
Thank you, sir.
So, no, I was gonna move to approve.
Okay.
So at this point, I'd move to approve the application to amend the entertainment license of Nino's Restaurant to be operated at 7B Everett Street in Revere.
Very good. I would second that. That application to amend the entertainment license is approved. Just understand, folks, that is approved until 12:30, okay? So you can have your expanded entertainment license, and good luck with it. I hope you bring in some good customers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Item number 3 has been continued until the next meeting. Item number 4, Four Partners, Inc., DBA Antonia's at the Beach, 492 Revere Beach Boulevard, Jezebel Rodriguez, manager. This is an application for a change of officers, directors, change of manager, and a transfer of stock. The application of Four Partners, Inc., DBA Antonia's at the Beach, for a change of officers, director, change of managers from Rodrigo Angulo to Jezebel Rodriguez, and a transfer of stock. Name and address for the record, please.
Mr. Chairman, good afternoon, and members of the License Commission. James Sippoletta, 385 Broadway in Revere, and good afternoon to you all. We were before the commission not long ago, maybe last month, on the other matter, which was satisfactorily disposed of, and this is the tailing part of the restructuring of the corporation. There were certain reasons why officers and directors and ownership interests needed to be modified. I believe that's been successfully done, and all of the paperwork is appropriately filed. I did the background check to make sure that citizens were citizens and people were who were they say they were, and they came out clean, and I suspect that the investigation done by the police department and those others will find the same. So Fernando's here if you have any questions of him. And the operation of the restaurant will not materially change. It's just the structure of the corporation. Thank you, sir.
Very good. Thank you, Councilor. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I have no questions.
I have no questions. I was hoping we didn't have to see you guys again for a while since you got the approval last month. But
I think the reminder from Maggie kind of took me by surprise. I was hoping the same.
yeah. But I have no questions. I trust your representation into properly vetting the individuals that are on this, and everything seems to be in order. And good to see you, Mr. Fernando.
Thank you so much.
And, yeah, I wish Antonius the best of luck, so I have no questions.
Very good. We'll close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Anybody else like to speak on behalf of Antonia's at the beach? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Any opponents? Anybody opposed to the application for a change of officers, directors, change of manager, or transfer of stock? Don't see or hear anybody. Close that section. We'll open it up to a general discussion and/or motions for a vote.
Well, I have no questions. We finally have all the paperwork in order. Thank you. Well, thank you, council, for getting this done for us. But no, I have no questions at this point, and if no one has any other questions, I will make a motion to approve.
I'd second that motion.
Very good. The motion is approved. The application for a change of officer, director, change of manager, and transfer of stock for Four Partners, Inc., DBA Antonia's at the Beach, is approved. The change of manager will be from Rodrigo Angulo to Jezebel Rodriguez. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Have a nice day. Good luck, Fernando.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Counselor.
Okay.
Item number 5, Lupita Revere LLC, DBA Lupita Restaurant, 111 Shirley Avenue. Erasimo Antonio Guevara is the manager. This is an application for an all-alcohol restaurant license. The application of Lupita Revere LLC, DBA Lupita Restaurant, Erasmo Antonio Guevara is the manager. This is for an all-alcohol license to be exercised at 111 Shirley Avenue. The requested seating is for 120 people. The requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. And the requested entertainment is a widescreen TV, radio, jukebox, and vocal and instrumental music. Your name and address for the record, please, gentlemen.
Mr. Chairman, good afternoon, and members of the License Commission. James Cipolletta, 385 Broadway, Revere. With me is Erasmo Guevara. As the paperwork will show, there are two Erasmos, father and son, and Francesca is the mother. So this is a family-owned business. It is also a building that's owned by the family. It had been rented to another establishment that had saw fit to retire and turn in their license. With the old Buster Bar, and since they left, the Guevaras have undertaken to sink a lot of money into the improvement of the block of buildings. I think it has 3 addresses, 111 to 115 or something. I believe that the inspectional services and all of the department head inspections have been signed off on. They do own another establishment licensed by the City of Lynn and the ABCC. That's Lupita Sports Bar and Grill. It's not too far from the Lynn Police Station and diagonally across the street from the side street to the Lynn Court. They've been operating that since 2003, so all 3 family members have adequate experience in food service and alcohol service and so on, and they have no records of violations with the City of Lynn or the ABCC. Food to be served, Caribbean fare is what they tell me. I'm happy to go and try it again if the board commission sees fit to grant the license. And they're ready to open. So any questions that the commission may have, Erasmo, who's the son, he will be putting in the bulk of the hours down there. His father and mother, of course, will be on site. I believe the mother, I know the mother's a pretty good cook. So I would turn it over to him if there were any questions by the commission.
Thank you very much, Council. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Yes, are you saying this is the old Buster Bar? Am I correct on that?
Yes, that's the building where the Buster Bar was.
It's the old
yes.
Buster Bar, okay. Because I know, it seems like the last couple of months we've been giving liquor licenses on Shirley Ave. It seems like we're getting inundated down there with licenses, but unfortunately, the state gives us licenses and we do have to give them out. But I don't know why. I thought we just gave one next door. Maybe I'm not, but it's not the same place anyways, so it doesn't make a difference. But yeah, the old Buster Bar. So that, I did go by there. I don't go down the Ave very often, but I happened to go down there going towards the beach, and quite an improvement down there. You've done quite a bit of work. Yeah, actually, the whole Ave, you drive down there, and it's a different place. So I remember Buster Bar from many years ago, so that's what I was asking, but you have done a lot of work with that. Yeah, so that was the only question. I was just wondering if that was the same location.
Thank you. So are you going to be, is this going to be a restaurant?
Yes,
So you're going to be serving food?
yes.
And then after hours, are you going to kind of turn it into a nightclub bar kind of thing? Or like, wow, what are the hours of
I
fixing?
wouldn't say nightclub, I would say more like bar.
I'm sorry?
I wouldn't say a nightclub, I would say more like a bar.
Be more like a bar, not a nightclub.
Okay. All right. And so your kitchen is going to be open from what time?
We'll be out of the kitchen by midnight.
The kitchen will be open till midnight?
Yep.
And then for the last hour, you're
Yeah.
just cleaning up and drinking?
Cleaning up, drinking.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, so this would be an all alcohol restaurant
Yes,
license. So it can end up being a pouring bar. It's a restaurant license.
Yes.
Very good. Do you have any questions, Commissioner Orsini?
I don't.
We'll close this section. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody else that would like to speak on behalf of the application for an all-alcohol restaurant license for Lupita Revere? We don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. And is there any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to this license? Don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Open it up to a general discussion and/or motions. I would just start by saying I'm glad to see that you're here. I know the place has been closed for a while, and you know, you guys put a lot of money into it, and then it was just sitting there looking like it's a nice building, but no one was using it. So I'm glad to see that you know, you're moving forward on it. Does anybody want to make a motion here, or?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second that motion.
Very good. The application for an all-alcohol restaurant license for Lupita Revere LLC, DBA Lupita Restaurant at 111 Shirley Avenue is approved. The application is to be exercised at that location. The requested seating is for 120. The requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. And the requested entertainment is widescreen cable TV, radio, jukebox, and vocal instrumental music. Thank you very much, gentlemen. The license is approved.
Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
Member commissioners.
Item number 6, AM Salgado LLC, DBA La Hacienda 2, 306 Revere Street. Aldo A. Callejas, manager. This is an application for an all-alcohol restaurant license. The application of La Hacienda 2 for an all-alcohol restaurant license to be exercised at 306 Revere Street. The requested seating is 131. The requested hours are Sunday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. And the requested entertainment is cable TV, karaoke, and instrumental music. Your name and address for the record, please.
306 Revere Street.
And your name?
My name is Andrea Perez. I'm representing La Hacienda.
Very good. And can you tell us what your plans are for La Hacienda 2?
They're planning to, currently they have 2 liquor licenses. They operate in Everett and East Boston, and they're planning to expand to Revere, their business to Revere. They're a family-owned business. They've been in the business for over 20 years, so they would like to open the restaurant here in Revere.
Very good. 306 Revere Street, where?
That's,
Oh, is that off the boat? Is it all off the boat? Okay.
306.
And will you be operating the parking lot across the street as well? Is that part of the operation?
Correct. That will be a privately owned parking for our customers.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions here?
So
I have
I've-
a couple, oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
excuse me.
Well, after you.
Okay. I have a couple of questions. First of all, mainly is the parking. I noticed that, of course, has nothing to do with you, but there's been cars parking in there, probably several Hondas every day lined up there. Also, my concern is the condo that is built next door, is any of that parking lot theirs? Do they also park in there? Or do you own the whole lot? Who owns the full lot?
We own the full lot.
You do?
It's for 30 cars, and what I've noticed, most of the people that have been parking are customers of the convenience store, which is right there.
Yes.
I think the condo has its own parking in the backside, which is not connected. It's fenced off from ours.
Right, because I know they've been parking there for quite a while, and Off the Boat had a problem with that. But I guess that was my question, if you did own the whole lot. I know the convenience store uses it quite a bit also. But, so, you know, just out of respect to the neighbors, I would like to see you use that lot for your business. Hopefully you have a good business going there, but you will have your patrons park there instead of on the side streets, which is limited parking, I think you know. But there was a business there before, and we never had a problem with them. They ran a very nice business. And I hope that continues with the new owners, should this be passed tonight. But that's my only concern, is the consideration of the people who live in that area and the parking lot usage. And also, I don't know who does it, but it's not legal for them to use that as a paid parking lot. Okay, so when I see several of the same cars lined up, I have to think somebody's allowing them to stay there all day. So if you would look into that, I would appreciate that, just again for the residents that live in the area.
Understood.
Thank
They
you.
will take you into consideration. Thanks.
My question or concern is surrounding the entertainment license. I've had an opportunity to eat at the restaurant in East Boston. Very good, by the way.
Thank you.
Very good food. But I do notice that you frequently have bands that come in, or a band that comes in.
On a Friday night, we have a live mariachi band,
Right.
and it performs from 8 p.m. till 11 p.m.
Right.
So, I mean, for live entertainment, we probably wouldn't go for it.
For live entertainment, what?
For like the live mariachi band, it probably wouldn't go further than 11.
Right, 11 o'clock. Okay, so all right. So I guess I don't know if they wouldn't need any special.
Well, it's covered in the
instrumental.
in the
Right.
instrumental music.
Right. And you said that typically they come in and typically won't perform past 11.
No, and then we usually turn on the jukebox right after they leave.
Right.
So at least we have some type of ambiance going on while people are
Right.
having their
I
dinner.
think it's a pretty good location, man. I think you guys are going to do very well.
We're very excited about having a parking lot to
Yeah.
provide that service to the customers.
And I suspect they'll probably be just as busy as you are in East Boston. I recall waiting on a long line out the door to sit down and have a meal at
Is
their
that right?
Well, that's
East
good.
Boston location. Yeah, they're very popular there.
Well, I hope they bring that business to Revere.
Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, folks. We'll close this section of the hearing and move on to any proponents. Is there anybody out here that would like to speak on behalf of the application for La Hacienda 2? I don't see or hear anybody. Let's close that section. Any opponents? Is there anybody opposed to the issuance of this license? You don't see or hear anybody here. We will, I'll open it now to a general discussion and/or motions. Your application seems to be in good order. It seems like you guys have got a good history of running a good business. I wish you well, and I would make a motion to approve this.
I'd second that motion.
Very good. The motion is approved for the application of an all-alcohol restaurant license for La Hacienda 2 to be exercised at 306 Revere Street. Although Callejas is the manager, this license will be exercised from the hours of Sunday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. The requested entertainment is cable TV, karaoke, and instrumental music, and the requested seating is for 131. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you.
Item number 7 has been put off until, continued to next meeting. Item number 8, Gia Liquors Corp., 535 Broadway. Nirav Patel is the manager. This is an application for an all alcohol package store license. The application of Gia Liquors, Nirav Patel manager, for an all alcohol package store license to be exercised at 535 Broadway. Your name and address for the record, please, gentlemen.
Attorney Larry Simeone, our office is at 300 Broadway, Revere, Massachusetts, representing Nirav Patel, the applicant before you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the commission.
Yes, okay, thank you very much, Counselor. Can you tell us what the plans are for this license?
Yes, sir. My client has another business, GNS Corporation, where he has for the last 4 years operated a package store license. He has developed experience over in Lynn, and before that he had been in the food business for over a decade. He's proposing to take the location at 535 Broadway, where there's a current convenience store owned by a Bhav Patel, and it's called the Bread Baskets Convenience Store. It's his intention to purchase the products and assets of that particular business, who is a tenant of the new owner. The new owner is 529 LLC. They just passed papers on February 2nd. It was very difficult to track everybody down. It's a delay in paperwork to you with respect to the ownership. However, I was able to talk to the attorney who is the new owner. We were able to acquire the assignment that was necessary, and along with the lease. So the intent is the GIA Liquors, which is owned by my client, will be purchasing that and asking to operate a full package store, not a convenience store, and with the minor chips and whatever, but it will not be a convenience store. He has, again, as I said, we've provided you the documentation with the new owner. He has submitted a pledge for $75,000 with Rockland Trust. And his hours of operation, he anticipates to be Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. and on Sunday 10 a.m. to 11 p.m.
All right, well, thank you very much, Counselor. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
I just have one question again. I'm sorry. I somehow I'm losing my direction in Revere. Is this store that he's wanting to open, are we talking right across from City Hall? Is that the location?
No, the location is right across from the big
Gasco.
gasoline, Gasco.
No Gasco, the old mobile station?
It's in the former, it's in the former Castagno Realty Trust, which is, there was an auto body shop there and several businesses, including Polo Chicken and so forth.
Oh, down further.
Yeah.
Okay.
Domino's is
I thought it was up
across
this.
town, across.
Oh, yes. Okay,
And
I know
it's
where it
always
is.
been a modest size store, about 1,300 square feet years ago. And so we'd like to put it.
Okay, I know where the location is, and I wasn't sure when you said something about the bread. For some reason, I thought it was right across the street from City Hall, but I know where you're talking about now. Okay, thank you for clearing that up for me.
Thank you.
So I think there's a few issues that we have to address with this application. One, it's my understanding that isn't there currently an existing malt and wine?
There is. A malt and wine exists there, but it was our intention to file a new application
Why is that?
for that, because my client has no interest in the malt. And so ultimately, the issue was raised that it should be a transfer. And speaking with the ABCC today, we've changed the application to a transfer subject to a recategorization of the license, and that was provided to you this afternoon about 12:30, that application.
I didn't receive that.
Yeah, it was emailed to the clerk and also brought and stamp dated for you.
So that license will be turned back into the city, the beer and wine?
That is correct.
Okay.
I didn't, again, the issue, so, I'm not sure I can speak for the rest of the commission, but I didn't have an opportunity to review the amended license application. From what I saw, that was submitted, was for a new license, which presents an issue under the law, the Mass General laws, that we can't approve a new license. It has to be a transfer license.
And that's what he changed it to, was a transfer, because I was in agreement with you also, so
Right.
now it does become a transfer license,
So
which is the
in
correct
speaking-
way to go.
In speaking with the ABCC, they said that you're not supposed to issue more than one license to one location, that's the NICS. So even though the owner he's going to abandon that license and return it to the city, they felt that the proper thing would be to transfer and recategorize the particular license. So that's what we did. We filed an application with you.
I still think there's still issue with the amendment, based on the notes that I'm reading, that even with the amendment, it still says that you're applying for a new license.
Yeah, with the amendment is not the last amendment filed, which was today, after speaking with the ABCC.
Do you have a copy of
Says,
that?
I do have, we submitted it to Ms. Haney.
Is that what our package is?
I'm sorry, excuse me.
It's still an application for a new license.
So when she says that it's an application for a new license, there's very, very minor changes between the transfer application and the application for a new license. And we do have that application, and we can just change the applications out. Unfortunately, my administrative assistant did not use the right application, but if we look at, Commissioner, if you were to look between the two particular license applications,
This is
there's
what I-
one
I got,
page which
transfer license.
is really of minor significance
I
factually.
have the transfer license, this is a new, Maggie put it with your packet.
It's in our packet?
Well, it was in mine, I just looked at it.
No, I think this is.
It was kind of separate. So I do have the pledge and I have a
And
transfer.
as certainly Attorney Simeon, I can take, I think there's a litany of issues here. And I think okay. Is this the last one on the agenda?
No,
Can we step this back and then call it again after the next one? Because I want to be able to see the amended application.
Here it is, here.
That's it right there?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought,
That's why I don't
I thought
understand
Maggie
why
was
you
saying-
didn't have in your packet. I just got it. I'm sorry.
may I see it?
Yeah, no, it's-
Sure. Excuse me.
you see, this is part of the problem with bringing in something in the last minute, right? You understand that, right?
I truly understand that, and having done this for 30 years in front of this commission, I can tell you that it's very rare that we get jammed up on so many different venues. One was, trying to find the owner, getting everything lined up, and getting the pledge approved, and that just took a little longer than we anticipated.
The lease was.
I think that, I think where the problem began, it should have from the beginning been a transfer of a license. And I guess from your view, it was a new license because it was a full package store license, which I find, well, okay, it's a wording. But I did get the update, I did get the new transfer, so.
So, but the new transfer still has issues on it. There's still, the category is not checked off. There's other things on here that I'm seeing, that's not,
So, like license transfers requires the seller to submit a certificate of good standing from the Mass Department of DOR and a certificate of compliance
That's correct.
from the Mass Unemployment Assistance.
Do we have
Do you have
historic?
those?
We
don't
do
have
not.
any of that stuff.
We don't have those, only because the idea of a transfer was for the last was
I
the last
understand,
minute.
But you see the position that it puts us in.
I would ask you to consider approving the license conditionally upon us providing any and all documents this commission requests, as, you know,
So.
not everybody has all their documents.
Here's my concern. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna give it to you now. So, this is the amended that was filed today at 12. Okay, I have that. It was stamped by the city. It's still an application for a new license. It still doesn't have the required information that we would need if it was a true transfer.
He's got that, why do I have different, and he doesn't?
So, I understand what the commission may have done before in the past. I just know that, you know, we've held another restaurant to a standard regarding their paperwork. And I don't think it would be fair to not apply that same standard to this application. Paperwork's not right.
I agree with you, and I think that that's one of the things we would have to look at. It would have to be contingent on us receiving all of that before he gets the license. But we've done contingent on many times all the paperwork, as we just went through Antonio's for 2 years. And everything was continued and was dragged on for 2 years.
Right.
But we did allow them to have the license. I have it that it is a transfer, that's what my paper says. I have to agree that the paperwork has been somewhat confusing, to say the least, because of asking for a new license. But I don't think at this point there is a reason to hold it up.
Well,
Contingent on the paperwork that we, the board, ask for before any license is granted. I would not be approving it today, but I would approve contingent on that, because it's just a matter of, the paperwork and coming back next month.
well, we can also call a special meeting. That's also an option, isn't it?
Yes,
Well,
it is.
it's always an option if we needed to have a special meeting.
I understand your point here, that there are a lot of issues with this
More
thing.
than just one.
I mean, there's more to it, there's no lease here.
There's no lease, there's the.
There's a
issue for
lease
rights.
that was provided in that package.
There is a lease
Yes, it was
provided?
leased
Yeah,
by,
there's a lease, and
Jerry
there's an
Daniels,
assignment of
or
lease, there's a purchase and sale.
Yeah.
There's
Now,
a
is
copy of all the
purchase and sale
pledges.
Between the individual who owns the existing business?
That particular one with the, which one is between the individual who owns the business, but has the license, the license LLC as well. Notwithstanding the fact that in my conversations with the staff here, I respectfully disagree as to what she's requiring, but I'm going to renew the request. I don't understand why a purchase and sale should have the license holder, which is the LLC, and not the individual who owns the assets of the corporation. The purchase and sale is just about assets. We're not buying a license. So that issue, I will raise again with the ABCC, but as of today, we did it as requested by the staff. We put in the LLC.
Very good.
When is this, are you currently open, or are you set to open at a certain?
No, they're not open. They're purchasing an ongoing business at that location, Commissioner.
Right, so it's still very much in the transactional phase of that purchase, or?
We're hoping to close, it's a very small, it's $75,000. It's
Right.
not a big thing. So we're hoping to close right away and begin, working as a
Like,
package
when
the
you say
license.
right away, like when? When you pledge close?
We're hoping by March or April, yeah.
So we still have some time to get the paper.
Yeah, I think the problem is the purchase and sale, as you can imagine, is contingent upon, as everything else is, the granting of the license. So the longer I delay the license, I don't make anything better for my client. I apologize for the changes that needed to be made. And ultimately, if there's a few more changes that need to be made, we'll make them, in a very express and fast manner.
Nishnatar LLC, is that your client?
Nishnatar LLC is the LLC, for some reason, Commissioner, that actually has the beer and wine license. I have no idea why an LLC was given to hold a beer and wine license when the owner of the store is Bahit Patel. And that's who owns the assets in the store, which we are purchasing. We're not purchasing the license, as you well know.
Right.
But for some reason, the staff here indicated that it should have the name of the licensee on the purchase and sale, notwithstanding what I just said. So that issue I need to have cleaned up by the ABCC. Because I have no idea what Nasheed LLC is, other than the holder of the beer and wine license. Nasheed LLC doesn't own the products in the store, doesn't own the things the assets that we're buying. Nasheed LLC doesn't own that. So that's an issue. I was going to just put the gentleman who owned the store as the purchase and sale, but staff had indicated that we should have Nasheed LLC. So we have a little bit of a conflict there, but I'm more than willing to straighten that out with the ABCC and the staff.
Exactly, and this is why, and that's exactly why I believe, to some extent, we can't approve contingent upon getting all of these, because there's a genuine dispute as to what should go on this purchase and sale and who should go on this purchase and sale, a matter of which council has represented that he needs to take to the ABCC. So,
I just, and with all due respect, Commissioner, it's not that I need to take it to the ABCC.
or you would like to.
I would rather have the individual who I'm buying the assets from on the purchase and sale. I have no idea why the staff here wants to put the LLC on. But we've been required by the staff, in a variety of different times to say that needs to be changed. If there's a checklist of things that have not been done, that is one of them up until the end, where we just fold it and just put on the paper what the staff has asked for. I would ask, Mr. Chairman, that you seriously consider granting the license, and we'll do everything in our power to respect the law and this commission's need for the appropriate documentation in this matter.
Well, I can appreciate that, Counselor. When I look at the application, now I see that the lease, the application, you have a lease with Castaldo Realty Trust,
Yes, but it's been assigned.
but they sold the building.
Castagno Realty Trust is the original lessor. Castagno sold to 529 LLC, which is on the paperwork, and then Anna Saragiva, she signed the assignment as the new owner. So the new owner has assigned the old Castagno lease, which is only good till June 2022, over to us for the balance of that term. We'll be entering probably a new lease with them.
Okay, thank you, Counselor. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any other questions?
No, I have no other questions.
Was there an issue of advertising?
Not that I'm
Is there
aware.
an advertising issue here?
No.
It was advertised as a new license.
As a new license?
Yes,
Not as a transfer?
that's correct.
And so in order for it to be approved, does it need to be advertised?
Well, legally, you're supposed to say what transaction you're doing, yes.
Okay, we will close this section. Do you have anything to add, Counselor?
No, I don't.
Thank you
for
very
your
much.
time.
We'll close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents? Is there anybody that would like to speak on behalf of the license for Gia Liquors Corp. at 535 Broadway? If you don't see or hear anybody, we'll close that section. Is there anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to the issuing of this liquor license? All alcohol package store license. If you don't see or hear anybody, we'll close that section, open it up to a general discussion and a motion.
Well, I'm going to, the way that I feel I have it here is a lease. I find the advertising, new license, it still is saying that there is a license that applied to go there. I don't find that a big issue. I, in the past, am on record as always contingent on giving a license out. I feel that the paperwork that I've read, although I have to say thanks, with the help of Maggie clearing up some questions that I had, I don't see a reason to hold this up, to have a special meeting, which of course has been brought up. I would agree with that if that's the way they want to go. But I don't see where we're going here. We are not giving the license out until every I has been dotted, every T has been crossed. It's just paperwork, and the license means nothing giving it out today until all that paperwork is in order, which I have done many times on this board. So I don't know how my council feels. I will go along with whatever they say, but my motion would be to approve contingent on, I'm sure Maggie can get us a list of what we're going to need to get this through, and I would hope that it would pass today. I would, if it were a special meeting, I would very much try to attend. Unfortunately, a lot of family things are going on right now, so I would make a motion here to approve today. Contingent.
On, and that contingency would be what, that the,
Well, that the paperwork is in order and everything that Maggie has written down that we need to clarify. And of course, the lease and whatnot. It seems like there's a lot of issues to be cleared up, as Commissioner Oshina has brought up. He probably knows more, being an attorney, than I do, as far as the paperwork on the sale of the building, the lease and whatnot. But I don't find at this point that there's a strong enough reason not to approve the license contingent on the paperwork being properly filed.
very good. Commissioner Orsina?
Again, I can't second the motion. I wouldn't approve it. I don't think there's even a sense of urgency, as council represented on the record. This is something that they're hoping to have closed on in March, maybe even April. I think this is a matter where there's more than enough time, even within the next couple of weeks, to get the paperwork right. I just can't envision this being something that can be done, without, some real effort on behalf of counsel and his client, where I would feel comfortable enough to just approve it contingent upon all of this getting done. I think that I would only entertain it if it's brought back with us with all the paperwork correctly put forth. So I can't second that motion.
So then it would be up to
Chairman.
the chair to vote.
Very good. I don't like to, see businesses not given licenses. I like to give everybody an opportunity to thrive in the city. This is, for me, this is a tough call. I'm looking at it thinking that, the process is important. This is not a new license. This is a transfer. We're looking at an application for a new license. It's really a transfer with a change of liquor category. I am going to vote that, well, I'm not going to vote to approve it. I'm going to vote that the paperwork needs to be filed and it needs to be put in properly. And if that is the case, I would not be against a special meeting if that's what it took, so that you wouldn't have to wait for the full month in order to resubmit this. If you can submit the paperwork quickly, I will try and have my fellow commissioners come together for a brief special meeting once the paperwork is in order. So that would be my vote, as I'm sorry, is that I'm going to have to vote with Commissioner Orsina and vote not to approve this at this time. So the application is not allowed. Item number 9. Sadhguru Hotel LLC, DBA Quality Inn, 100 Morris Street. Beth Shearer, manager. The application for renewal of a common victular, entertainment, and inn-holder license. The application of Sadhguru Hotel LLC, DBA Quality Inn, for renewal of the existing common victular, entertainment, inn-holder, and hotel license. This matter is continued from our January License Commission meeting. Your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Good afternoon. My name is Jiten Patel, 495 Westgate Drive, Brockton, Massachusetts.
Very good, sir. Can you tell us what your plans are for the Quality Inn up here on Route 1?
Yeah, I mean, right now, the state of the current hotel industry, things have been very quiet. You know, we chased some pieces of business. Last year, at one point,
Can you come
someone...
closer to the mic?
Oh, sorry. So last year, there was some hope. You know, we thought we would have a chance to reopen and take advantage of some of that summer business. We were approached by some business that we thought would be good to get a base in through the summer. That business never materialized. So we came to the winter. Omicron variant hit pretty hard, and a lot of the groups that we have at some of the properties that we manage, they didn't materialize. They canceled because a lot of them are European groups and European travelers that come into the area. This hotel, particularly in the spring, we deal with a lot of student groups, EF tours. We get a lot of groups that travel through here to see the city. But again, with all the restrictions and Omicron, we didn't see a whole lot of materialization. You know, we think that things are moving in the right direction, and we do hope to reopen at some point this year. I don't have a set date, but, you know, just by looking at the trend and the city, you know, last year, 2020, the city was at 25% occupancy for hotels. Last year, the city finished at 45% occupancy for all hotels. So the trend is in the right direction, and I think we're going to get there once we start to get more groups and travel back into the city, and also concerts and everything back into the garden, because we get a lot of compression from a lot of the events that happen in the city, especially conventions. So I think we get there. You know, we want to reopen. I think nobody's more motivated to reopen than us. We have landlords that we have to pay. We have a mortgage. You know, the building itself costs a lot of money to maintain, so we need to get open, and we need to get some business back into the hotel. And not to mention real estate taxes and everything. It's quite a bit.
Well, thank you for that, sir. I think that I can speak for all of us when I say that we hope that you do get up and running again. We do have a couple concerns and questions. I know when you mentioned that you had discussed partnering with other vendors and partnering with other people, there was concern about the hotel shifting its focus from a hotel to more of a temporary homeless shelter kind of thing. Can you explain to us what went on with that and what your thinking is behind that?
So that I think, you know, overall, you know, I don't want to speak too much on it because, you know, I don't have all the full background because I wasn't involved in a lot of the meetings between the city of Boston, the state of Massachusetts, and the city of Revere. You know, we were kind of asked that it would be better if the city of Boston and the state of Massachusetts discussed directly with the city of Revere. You know, the point of that was really the way it was approached to us was, again, a little different than what was you know, represented in the public. I mean, it was a proper, the way we were, you know, the way our agreement was structured was that it was a proper system where there was, you know, proper security, there was health services, there was, you know, there's people to help out to get people jobs. So it wasn't, you know, really what was represented in the news, where it was, in the news, it was the bus is going to show up and just open the doors and let people out on the street, and that's not what that's not our impression of what was supposed to happen there. So it was a proper program from our understanding, but again, a lot of the discussions were out of our hands. That was a lot of, the Boston Public Health Commission, the city, the state of Massachusetts, and the city of Revere. So we didn't have a whole lot of background info on what the closed-door meetings were.
Okay, fair enough. I think, do one of my fellow commissioners have anything you'd like to say, or any questions for this gentleman?
No, I have no
Commissioner
questions.
Rossini?
I don't.
I do have a letter here from the city councilor who is the city councilor responsible for that ward. And he asked that I read this letter so that you'll have an understanding about what his constituents are thinking and what his thinking is about the hotel going forward. Because I think there is some concern in the city that the hotel may go in a direction that the city is not all that on board with. And so, which is one of the reasons why we wanted you here, basically to kind of get your impression of what the direction of the hotel was, and where you thought this was going to be in a few months, a few years, and where we were going. I mean, the neighbors there have a right to know what's on the table for their future, and so that's kind of why we're here. So let me read this letter, and then I'll get your impressions of that, okay?
Sure.
Dear honorable members of the License Commission, I apologize for not being able to attend today's meeting due to work, but I wanted to weigh in on agenda item number 9, the application of Sadhguru Hotel LLC, DBA Quality Inn for renewal of existing common victular, entertainment, inn-holder hotel licenses. As ward councilor on behalf of the people I represent in North Revere, I am concerned with the prospect of renewing Quality Inn's local licenses and would lean in opposition to renewal. Prior to COVID-19 pandemic, I would have characterized Quality Inn's relationship with the city of Revere and the neighborhood of North Revere in particular as a good partnership. The hotel used to provide community space to the North Revere neighborhood group to hold its monthly meetings. And when the hotel was forced to shut down in March 2020, the manager at the time went out of her way to donate the remaining food from the hotel to the city's food collection efforts. However, since then, the relationship between the neighborhood and the hotel has deteriorated. For well over a year, possible close to 2 years, the Quality Inn has not been operating as a hotel, as evidenced by not being able to make a reservation on their website. While other hotels in the city have resumed operation post-height of the pandemic, the Quality Inn has not only remained shuttered, but has acted in a way which I would characterize as unneighborly. The actions of last September caused much concern among residents and officials in both Revere and the neighboring town of Saugus, and show the new management style of Quality Inn does not put the same emphasis on being a community partner with the North Revere neighborhood and the city of Revere as a whole. Going forward, there is trepidation about the Quality Inn's long-term goals and how it sees itself as a business and community partner in our city post-COVID. On behalf of my constituents in North Revere neighborhood, as well as the ward councilor, I ask that you take these comments into consideration as you deliberate how to move forward with Sadhguru Hotel's application. Sincerely, Richard J. Serino, Revere City Councilor. So, as you can tell, the City Councilor's got the impression that you guys are not really all that neighborly right now. And so I'm wondering what it is you want to do about that to change that perception, and how you feel you try to fix that going forward.
Well, I mean, I understand the city councilor's concerns. Just as a resident of another town in Massachusetts, anyone would have concerns of that nature. I think when we look at, in the letter addressed, post-pandemic, post to pre-pandemic, I mean, for many industries, they're out of the pandemic. I mean, the hotel industry, as many of you know, we're far from it. I mean, we have some time, we have a lot of time that we're going to need to catch up to where we were before. Just to give some background, I mean, the decision to close is never an easy decision to make. The the type of customers we were getting at the time that, you know, prior to closing, I mean, we could no longer rightfully have our staff in there and be responsible business operators. You know, the level of abuse our staff was getting, you know, verbally, you know, just asking people to put masks on was terrible. You know, we saw what was happening at some of the other hotels around Chelsea and, you know, and even in downtown Boston with the violence, and we just decided to make the decision to close the doors. At that time, we didn't realize that, you know, we were going to be into this for this long. We thought that, you know, this would be a temporary closure and we would be reopened fairly soon. I think where we can get back to, you know, our community outreach is really as we come to a determination on when we're going to reopen and when we can be viable as a business. You know, I understand the concerns in saying they don't support a license renewal, but, you know, I think without a license renewal, that just sets us back, you know, another however many months. You know, our right now, like I said, our whole goal is to, if this, you know, now that this Omicron variant's passed us, the governor's lifting restrictions, and then, you know, hopefully all the other cities and towns follow suit, you know, we hope to be another, you know, be back in business and be a community partner and provide jobs again. I mean, that's our eventual goal. I mean, we've been operating in this location for years. And, you know, when we bought the property, we bought it from a much larger company based out of Atlanta, and they didn't have zero community outreach. They were just a large corporation, and we're a family-run business. So, you know, as we can get our people back into the hotel and, you know, we can start to help the community again, that's where we can really excel. For us right now, it's difficult because we don't have full-time staff there. We do have some staff that go to the hotel and make sure things are okay and keep an eye on things, but you know, once we can try to get people back in there and we can, you know, start hosting community meetings and doing what we did before, and even hosting, there was a church group that used to come in all the time. I think that's when we can get back to where we were as a business.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate that. I think that would be everybody's goal, is to get the hotel back to where it was as a hotel. I think, you know, the feelings now are that, you know, there's some concern that it's not going to be the case. And so I think that's what has everybody on edge. And so you are reassuring us that you are planning to keep this as a hotel and have a hotel going forward. Will go a long way toward, you know, establishing that neighborly feeling, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, is that, you know, for us, you know, we have obligations for this property. We have, you know, debt. We have, we had employees, which we hope we'd be able to bring them back. You know, we have our real estate tax, you know, that we have to pay. We have rent for our landlords. So, you know, for us, we need to reopen the property. You know, it has to eventually happen.
At this, oh, excuse me. At this time, do you have any commitments as far as any groups? Should this license be approved?
As of today, we do not. No.
You do?
No, we do not.
You do not?
No.
Okay.
So we operate, right now, we operate properties between here and, you know, just south of Boston. And it's, in terms of future bookings, it's been very difficult. You know, we operate 3 properties in South Bay area, and it's, you know, it's been very quiet. There's just not a whole lot going on, and, you know, you go to the airport, it's still fairly quiet. In Revere, we used to rely on a lot of airport business as well. We used to get some crews. We used to, at one point, we used to run a shuttle. And it's been very quiet. You know, we've talked to other property owners, that, you know, other hotel operators in the area, and, you know, things have been quiet there as well. 4 Points in, you know, that property, I believe is being sold. They've been very quiet as well. So things will come back. It's going to take some time.
It's slow.
It is. And, you know, like I said, I think it's promising when you look at the numbers, you know, 25% in 2020, 45% in 2021. I think we can build off of it. Now that the colleges are back, you know, we can start to see families and the type of customers we're used to seeing, I think will start to come back. And that's what we're hoping.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you, sir. Do you have any comments or questions, Commissioner Orsino?
I don't.
Very good. Let me just close this section of the hearing. We'll open this up. Any proponents? Does anybody want to speak on behalf of the application for renewal of the common victular entertainment and in-holder hotel licenses for Sadhguru Hotel LLC? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Is anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to the issuance of the renewal of these licenses? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. I'll open it up to a general discussion and/or motion.
Well, at this point, I think you've heard how the commission feels and the ward council, and I'd like to see you reopen and keep it as a hotel. Okay, so if there are no other questions, I'll make a motion to approve.
I'd second that motion.
Very good. The application for the renewal of the common victular entertainment in-holder and hotel licenses for Sadhguru Hotel LLC, DBA Quality Inn, is approved. The application will be exercised at 100 Morris Street, and that's that. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Good luck. This is a late application. Diana Cardona, 101 School Street. This is Diana Cardona, event manager. It's an application for a one-day entertainment and mobile food vendor license. The application for said license to be exercised at Revere High School Auditorium on Saturday, March 12th, 2022, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Expected attendance is 600. Food truck will be outside in the school parking lot. Your name and address for the record, please.
Diana Cardona, 23 Harrington Street, Revere.
Thank you very much, Ms. Cardona. Can you tell us what it is that you planned for this event?
It's a comedy show with a stand-up comedian from Colombia. And it's a family event. All ages are welcome. And that's it. He's very, very popular.
Okay.
And this is his first tour in America, so
Okay.
they're going to be visiting Massachusetts, so we wanted to bring it to Revere.
Very good. Do any of my fellow commissioners have any questions?
Is this the first time you're having this event?
And not a particular this event, but I had an event before last October for the Hispanic Heritage Month. I collaborated with the city to do an event there, and it was pretty good. It was not too many people, but this is the second time I'm working with the school to do an event like that for families, and I think it's a good venue, it's a good theater. And I have experience with my sister. I have an organization for, it's like a for-profit organization for the community, and we do a lot of community events. We have done events at the Revere Museum as well, health fairs, and working with the East Boston Neighborhood Health Center too. So we have some experience with that, and we wanted to also give the opportunity to the small businesses to have their table outside, just a few of them, so people can get to know them too, small vendors from Revere and the places around.
Okay, thank you.
Other than the show, what type of entertainment are you intending to have?
We just have some raffle things that they're doing, and that's it. That's about it.
Any music or?
They're gonna have. He has some music, and we have a sound system that is gonna be there.
Inside though, right?
Inside, yes, inside the theater. Everything is gonna be inside. And that's it.
Will the show be in English or Spanish?
It's Spanish.
Okay. That's good.
Do we need any security when it's 600?
I don't know, 600, that's what I was gonna ask you about security.
Did you have any security on hand? What's the?
So when we did the application with the Revere High School, they did require for every 150 people to have an extra custodian. So we're gonna have enough custodians that are gonna be there.
Okay, so the custodians are going to be doing the security?
They're gonna be around there because they tell us that every 150 they have to be an extra custodian.
I don't think there's security.
How do
I
you
think
feel
it's more
about
for
that? No
after
police
cleanup.
presence? How many people? I don't think.
They're expecting to be 600.
600?
Yeah, it's like a family oriented.
How many people are you expecting?
We're expecting about, hopefully, we're aiming for 400, but we're trying to say if
And
we
it's
can
one
get.
show
That is
night?
one show. It lasts an hour and a half only, the show. So we open the doors like around 7. We do about a few raffles there and talk about the show, talk about him, and then after that, he comes at 8 o'clock and then stays for an hour and a half continuously.
What is the age group? What is the age group?
We don't have any limits. I mean, people have done other events in other places with similar comedians that come and they bring their families.
Okay, I mean, if it's a family show, he's a family-type comedian, not an adult-type comedian?
Not an adult type, no. He hasn't done any shows like that with maybe they show like they have their comments or something like that very badly, no.
Okay, I mean, if it's a family-oriented type of show, I mean, there probably isn't really a need.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he was showcasing. He was invited to the Master Chef celebrities in Colombia. He was one of the person who was there in the events, the Master Chef that they do here, but they do it over there in Spanish for national TV. So he was one of them. So this one is like he got very famous after that, and this is his first time that he's going to be in the United States.
So do you sell tickets for this?
Yeah,
how
they
do
sell
come?
tickets, yes.
You sell tickets?
Yes.
Okay.
How much
So-
are the tickets?
The tickets are going to be between 30 and 50, depending on how close they are from the artist. And it's
Do children need tickets to get in?
the children need tickets too.
Wow.
Okay, I think I'll get your information from Maggie, and I think we're going to put you in touch with the detail office to see if there's possibly a need for a police detail at the event.
Okay.
All right, good.
Okay, it sounds like a good event. I
Yeah.
mean, it sounds like it'd be nice for the city.
Okay. Well, let me just close this section of the hearing. Are there any proponents, anybody else like to speak on behalf of the issuance of this license? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section. Anybody opposed? Anybody opposed to the one-day entertainment license and food truck vendor license? I don't see or hear anybody. We'll close that section and open it up to general discussion and/or motion. Ma'am, it looks like the only sticking point here would be some security, which you will work out with the police.
Absolutely.
Okay? So as long as that's fine, I don't know if any of my other commissioners have any other issues.
I just had one more question. Have you sold any tickets yet?
We already sold, and people have called us already because we haven't had anything secure. But we already have about 50 people in the database that they want tickets.
Okay.
So we just haven't done any promotion like that because we wanted it to have a confirmation first.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else have anything else you want to add?
No, but I'd move to approve the application at this point, the one-day entertainment license and mobile food vendor license of Diana Cardona to be operated at 101 School Street, at Revere High School, auditorium on March 12th.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
Very good. Your license is approved.
Thank you very much.
Your application for the one-day entertainment and mobile food truck vendor license is approved to be exercised at Revere High School Auditorium on Saturday, March 12th, 2022, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. The expected attendance is 600. The food truck will be outside in the parking lot, and you will need to contact the Revere Police Detail Office prior to the event.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. May I have one question, please, sir?
Certainly.
So in the near future, if everything goes well, we want to have another comedian to come to the place. So we will be maybe next month to do another meeting and get all the permits required for that.
To do a separate show? Or
Yes,
bring
for
someone
April.
else into this?
No. Someone is not to this one. It's gonna be for April.
Yes, yes. So if you come into the next meeting with the same type of paperwork, we will take that under consideration.
Yes, sir. Yeah, provided everything goes well with this
Yes.
one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
That completes the applications. We have some communications on file. One of them is a late communication, which is a notification from the Revere Fire Department of ongoing safety issues at Hampton Inn. The fire lanes are apparently regularly blocked by vehicles in such a way as to prevent emergency vehicles from being able to enter the property. And this, this problem can be a very serious situation. Apparently the fire truck went down there to answer a call, and it couldn't get into the parking lot. The fire truck had to park out on the highway and try to render aid from the highway. It could have been a very bad situation if it was an actual working fire and they needed to get into the building to operate. So I think we need to have the people from the Hampton Inn come in and explain what their parking situation is and how are they going to rectify this. I mean, I would think hopefully they'll come in with a diagram of how they are parking the cars.
Well, I think that's what's important when we ask any lot to line their lots. That helps us out so we know who's illegally parking. But if my memory serves me right, haven't we addressed this before with problems from the fire department? So I would like to look that up and see if we've addressed these issues. And I believe, were supposed to paint the lines, and again, they were another one that felt it would be too much. But I think it's something we should just rule from. I think whenever license is given out in parking spots, it should be lined.
It should be lined.
Very good. I mean, I could definitely discuss that.
I could bring them in.
Do you think that we ought to call them into our next meeting?
I think so.
Call them into the next meeting?
Absolutely.
Very good. So we will do that. We'd like to have the Hampton Inn come into the next meeting and bring their parking guru with them. Whoever that happens to be, I think they vend that out. So whoever their parking vendor is, we'd like to have them come in as well so that we can clarify this once and for all. That concludes the late communication. I think we have some licensed renewals, which are also listed on the website. I'll read them today because there aren't that many of them. The entertainment license renewal for Cafe Monte Cristo, DBA Monte Cristo Mexican Grill at 364 Broadway. Common victualers licenses that are renewed are Ambrose Foods, LLC, DBA Pizza Hut at 5A Everett Street, Cafe Monte Cristo at the Monte Cristo Mexican Grill, 364 Broadway, Casablanca House of Pastry, Inc., 151 VFW Parkway, Suite 60, Daya LLC, DBA Subway, 339 Squire Road, and the Romero Jimenez Corp., DBA Olympia Market, 5 Atlantic Avenue. And that concludes today's agenda. Yes, so I'll make a motion to approve them. I'll second that motion. Will you second that motion as well?
I'll second that motion.
Those licenses are approved. I would again move to adjourn.
I'd second that.
Are we adjourning till March 15th or 16th? So I'd make a motion to adjourn to March 16th.
I'd approve that in person, I presume?
Very good. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Good job.